Hello, friends. So this is for Tuesday the 15th. We're going to read another little story, and then it has a couple questions on the page with it. So you can either go ahead and read it by yourself and answer the questions. Otherwise, you can go ahead and follow along with me. The skeleton key. Eric rang his grandparents' doorbell and silently wished the next 4 hours would go by quickly. He didn't want to give up his entire Saturday afternoon at his grandparents' house where there were no kids in the neighborhood. "You're right on time," Grandma Bethany said, opening the door. "There's tea and cake in the dining room." Cake? At least the first 10 minutes would go by quickly. Eric hung his coat on the rack by the door and saw a strange looking key hanging on the hook. "Grandpa Bill, what's the funny key for?" "That's a skeleton key. It opens the best room in the house," Grandpa Bill whispered, so no one else could hear. "It's a room I go to when your grandmother tries to make me help with the dishes." "What's so special about the room?" Eric asked. "It's a game room," Grandpa Bill said. "Take the key and see if you can find the room by the time I finish my tea." Eric grabbed the key and stared at it. A skeleton key? It looks old. Eric decided the oldest thing in the house were probably upstairs in the walk-up attic. He headed past the dining room and to the stairs. Grandpa Bill sipped his tea and shook his head. Eric knew that meant he was going the wrong way. He headed back to the front door where he'd found the key. Eric thought about the oldest part of the house, the basement. It's the first part that's built. He rushed to the basement door and looked at the lock. It looked different from the normal lock. He slid the key inside and turned it. With a click, the door opened. Eric switched on the light and walked down the stairs. The basement was one giant room with a pool table in the middle and a dartboard on the far wall. "Awesome," Eric said. "Ever learn to play pool?" Grandpa Bill asked, coming down the stairs. "No," Eric said. "Well then, grab a cue from the rack and I'll teach you." Eric smiled. The next 4 hours were going to fly by. So, if you would like, you can go ahead, rewind, and listen to the story again. Otherwise, go ahead and answer the questions. If you have any questions, please email me.